Hi Gemini, welcome back to my channel, Karma Thoughts. I am doing your weekly reading for March. I hope you're doing well. I am going to take a quick second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Gemini out there, so guys, take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies may reverse. So if it is resonating, get in where you fit in, but as always, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Gemini? Gemini. All right, Gemini, you are starting out with the Nine of Cups. Some sort of wish fulfillment. All right, you have the Eight of Wands and you have the Nine of Wands. So something is progressing here. Something is definitely progressing. I feel like you're getting some kind of a wish fulfillment, something you've been wanting, you've been thinking about. It could come through travel, but more likely communication, possibly even both. It is going to happen rapidly, though. Yeah, it's going to happen rapidly, and it's helping you to overcome issues, overcome problems, rising above something. But it's whatever this is, it's wand energy, and it's definitely going to happen quickly. So let me see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Gemini's energy. All right. We have the King of Cups in the reverse, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer energy, Page of Wands reversed, and the Five of Swords in the reverse. So the person in your energy, Gemini, is going through some sort of a karmic cycle or a karmic lesson of some sort. This is somebody who you may not be speaking to. This person made a decision in the past after a conflict. There was some sort of conflict between the two of you, and this person made a decision not to communicate, not to talk. I do feel like this is somebody who has pulled back their feelings, their emotions quite dramatically. They're feeling extremely drained right now, but they're not communicating. They're not telling you. I also feel like with the Five of Swords in reverse, this person may be trying to avoid any kind of conflict. Be careful though, because this person does not fight fair. They can be a little mean when there's conflict. So let me see the energy between Gemini and this person. The Strength card, Leo energy. So I do feel like you have strong feelings for this person. But I also feel like, so there's something to do with a uniform, or this person could be like a soldier. But there's a feeling here that you want success with this person because you have strong feelings for them, but they're kind of withdrawn and they're avoiding conflict. This person could be very avoidant. And they've pulled back pretty sharply. Let me see what's affecting this connection. Three of Cups. Okay. So this is somebody that you feel makes you happy. And honestly, like I can see the two of you, there was like an energy of going out, possibly dating, like having a good time together. That's what's affected this. That's why you have such strong feelings towards this person. You could be dating, or they could be dating. There's something to do with going out, maybe even with close friends or family. You want a reconciliation with this person, but I feel like this person in your energy, they're not really communicating. They're not talking. I don't feel like they want the reconciliation right now, but it could be because you haven't had communication with them in a minute. So let me see. Show me the outcome for Gemini. All right, we have the Eight of Cups. So that's basically the energy of walking away. So here's what I'm seeing. You view this person as somebody who is your wish fulfillment. You have very strong feelings for this person. And I feel like in the past there was a strong connection here, but this person for some reason really pulled back. It was likely due to a conflict that occurred between the two of you. They're not really communicating. I see you reaching out to them. I see you talking to them, possibly traveling to see them with the hopes of reconciliation. But this is somebody who is emotionally avoidant. This is somebody that you did have a strong connection with. There was dating, there was going out, there was, partying together. But at this point, I feel like this person is like very off-putting. They're very avoidant. And I feel like they made a decision that they don't want to communicate. They don't want to talk. They walked away from the connection. And I feel like you're giving this another shot, another chance. And you're actually going to rise above all of this. You're going to overcome all of this, but it's because you are walking away. And it does look like you're moving more towards your spirituality here. You're moving more towards what it is that is going to really make you happy. So bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands in the reverse. That's underlying energy. I definitely see that there has been an ending here in the past. It was likely preceded by a really harsh conflict. And this also indicates to me that there may have been a very sexual component to the connection as well, because I see a lot of wand energy. So let's clarify, Gemini. Spirit, why is the Nine of Cups here for Gemini? Yeah, this person made you feel rejected and abandoned. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. So you are a little bit on defensive. So it was the conflict between the two of you. It was a very ugly, very strong conflict. I also feel like you feel that other people may have been trying to affect the connection or interfere in the connection. But ultimately, even though you found this person to be your wish fulfillment, you wound up feeling very rejected after all of this conflict here. So let me see why the Eight of Wands is here. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups. Now that's very strong energy because it's repeating energy. And we have the Emperor in the reverse. So I do feel like the situation between you and this person really spun out of control. You want to now contact this person. You want to talk to this person, stop in to see them or go and visit them. Ideally, hoping that things can be worked out. However, you have not forgotten that this person walked away from you. So you feel that this person can be very controlling, can be very, very angry, can be very manipulative. And so I do feel like if you sense that in this person, you will walk away from them again. So, but this time it'll be you doing the walking away. Yeah, I do feel like this person can be extremely controlling. Let me see why the Nine of Wands is here. See, and I feel like your intentions are good, Gemini. I feel like you're just you want to kind of work things out, you know? You want to talk to this person. You want to work things out. You're a little nostalgic. Magician in reverse and the Queen of Wands. This person may have brought you in as a third party for some of you. I do feel like there is an element here of manipulation, either on your side or on theirs. But I do feel like this whole connection did not manifest the way that you wanted it to. It makes me a little uncomfortable in your energy to see the Magician in reverse along with the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is known to do spell work. So with the Magician in the reverse, that would be kind of, be careful what you're dabbling in is what I'm saying. Because even though I can see clearly that your intention is to overcome the problems, to rise up out of the problems, to resolve them, and I do feel like you're trying to be proactive with that, I also feel like, you got to be careful what kind of energies you dabble in as well. So, and if that's not for you, just leave it for whomever it's for. But I do feel that, I do feel like you're approaching this person to see if this could be worked out, if things between the two of you could be worked out. Let's look at their energy. Why is the King of Cups here in reverse? Why is the King of Cups here in reverse? All right, we have the Six of Wands reversed, and we have the Six of Pentacles. So the person that's in your energy is trying to find balance in their life. I do feel this person was giving to more than one person. They may have tried to bring you in as a third party. There's an indication that there's, for some of you anyway, that this person was not faithful. I do feel that, you know, they withdrew when they realized that things weren't going to be successful, or they felt unrecognized in some manner. So why is the Page of Wands in reverse? All right, we have the Seven of Cups, and we have Judgment in reverse. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so this person can be very immature. Page of Wands in the reverse is somebody who may, like, you know, they communicate very immaturely. They behave immaturely. They're very impulsive. And when things don't go their way, they can kind of go in and just have a whole blown temper tantrum. I do feel like this is somebody who has not always used the best judgment in the past, and it's created a lot of confusion. And as they're trying to bring balance into their life, I do feel like this person is beginning to recognize that, but this is an incredibly immature, you know, person that you're dealing with here. I do feel like they have options. I do feel like this is somebody who has been dating or going out with other people. And I also feel like they're not really looking at a reconciliation at this point. So, but you're dealing with somebody that's very immature. Let me see why the Five of Swords is here. Three of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. So this person in your energy, you could have worked with this person at some point, or there could have been some sort of a foundation that you knew this person from. I do feel like this is somebody who will communicate with you. If you show up, or if you decide that you're going to reach out, they will communicate with you. But this is an unhealed person. I do think that they are trying to come to terms with that. They're currently working very hard. There's something to do with a contract. They're in something contractual. Yeah, there's something contractual here. They're definitely resisting change. And I do feel like they would be cooperative to working things out with you. I do see communication. However, be careful, because this person, because of their immaturity, that communication may escalate into further conflict. I will tell you that the reason they are being avoidant is because they feel that communication will lead to conflict. So let me look at the energy between Gemini and this person. Scorpio energy is here. It's pretty strong for some of you. Oh, you're determined to reach out to this person, though. You got the Eight of Wands again. All right, so we have Justice reversed. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Four of Wands. Yeah, this person may be in another commitment. It might be a commitment with another person, or it could be some sort of foundation that they're involved in. It doesn't necessarily, third parties are not always necessarily another person. But regardless, I do feel that this person is involved in some kind of another commitment of some sort. They might be married. They might be involved in some sort of foundational stuff. But I see the energy of them having given to more than one situation, and it didn't work out for them. So they kind of pulled back their feelings and emotions. Now, This person knows that what they did here was incorrect. They're very well aware of it. And you're feeling the sting of that. And you kind of want to talk to them about it. You want to ask this person, why did you act the way you did? Why did you just basically reject me? Why did you abandon me? I was looking at you as wish fulfillment, and you really kind of just iced me out. I'm getting the impression that this person may have ghosted you. So I also feel like for some of you, there was other parties that affected this connection as well. So your desire right now is to communicate, to talk to them. So some of you, and it's a strong desire, because you want clarification. It looks like you may be wanting closure because you feel very wronged by this person, and it indeed looks like you were, and they know it. Let me see why this Three of Cups is here. All right, so we have the Page of Wands in the upright. So that tells me this person will communicate with you. The Chariot in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles. All right, so what's affecting the connection is that there was a beginning that happened here, and it looks like it was likely highly sexual. But you were looking for commitment. You were wanting, I see partying or going out, dating or something. There's definitely time that was spent together, and you really enjoyed that. But you were looking for that commitment. You were looking for a new beginning with this person. And what happened is this person had someone else or another situation that they were committed to, and not to you. And they felt stuck with that connection. So they actually had no intention of moving forward. They had options. They were exercising options. And what they did is they kept that to themselves. This was all part of the immaturity that occurred. So this new beginning ended. And it ended with this person feeling stuck in, the energy that they were currently also engaged in. And it also ended with them knowing that they had not behaved properly here. You, on the other hand, you decided to walk away from this connection. I do feel that you began to focus on yourself, focus on your work, your family, children, if you have children, your home. I see a lot of self-care here. And I do feel like you don't have a very strong opinion of what this person did, but it's almost like you're looking for closure. You're looking for, to see, has this person changed? If they've changed, then is there a possibility of reconciliation? So I definitely see there's going to be some communication here. But for a time, you felt this person was being over-controlling. They weren't loyal. And there's this energy of them having walked away from the connection and leaving you feeling pretty rejected and abandoned. So you kind of turned your back on this connection. And now I feel like you strongly want to reach out. So let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome for Gemini. All right, King of Pentacles, the Star card. Aquarius energy. I also see Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Very strong Leo. Libra energies here. Cancer energies here. All right, and we have the Sun. So in your outcome, Gemini, what I'm seeing is that you're actually going to be the one to walk away. And as you walk away, I also feel like you're recognizing that this did not manifest in an equal way. And that's why you're walking away. You're walking away from something that was not grounded, that was not equal and balanced, because that's what you want. You want commitment in your life. You felt like this person at some point was, going to provide that. But I feel like this person was actually rather manipulative, and they know that what they did wasn't correct. So I do feel like you know, you're going to be moving towards, some of you moving towards a King of Pentacles, somebody here that is in your energy that you feel pretty passionate about. And this person will be very grounded. They will be doing well financially as well. And at some point, you're going to feel glad that this did not work out, because it would have plunged your life into chaos. And I do see, you know, for a lot of you, that you are moving towards something that is so much better. So I do feel like that's going to come on the heels of healing and walking away from this connection. But this time, you're the one who said, no, I'm going to walk away from this because this isn't good for me. All right. Now, so you've grown in their energy. What I am seeing is that you are determined to reach out to them to get this closure, to, you know, try to resolve things. They will communicate to you, but this person is still rather unhealed. And I do feel like they're avoiding conflict. They're avoiding communication because they want to avoid conflict. So I do feel like this is somebody who is trying to heal their energy. They're currently a bit unhealed, and I feel like when you walk away, they're going to be very clear as to why you did. They're clear that, you know, this wasn't a balanced, equal give and take. They're still feeling very stuck in something else. And I also feel like this person is they've thrown so much confusion in, but they're very clear that what they did here was not correct. They're going to try to appear like they are in charge of themselves, like they're so balanced, they're so happy, you know, they're so grounded. But the truth of it is they know what they've done here. They know. And they are still stuck in something else that I feel like is causing some confusion and grief for them as well. So my advice on this, take it for what it's worth. Gemini, you're not losing anything with this person, and you've got something so much better, so much more compatible coming up. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Coins in the reverse. This is underlying energy. It does indicate to me that perhaps, you know, this was a very passionate connection. It may have started very suddenly and ended just as suddenly. But there wasn't a lot of long-term thinking with regard to this. I also see that, you know, there is an ending. There's definitely a sense of loss in this connection as well. So I feel like this was really hard for you, Gemini. Let me see. Show me. Well, there we go. Yeah, number 36. It says commitment. And there's a key there. So let me read that for you, because your final card is the King of Pentacles, and that has to do with commitment. So a true commitment is a responsibility to the heart, mind, body, and soul, and this is a good time to make one. Partnerships formed at this time are harmonious and powerful. The commitment card also indicates the natural evolution of a relationship from its inception to a literal or metaphorical marriage. At the very least, there is a promise of fulfillment in some form. However, you must be conscious of what you're committing to. Be clear about the nature of your commitment and your responsibility to it. Others are more willing to enter into partnerships at this time. Remember that your partnership with Spirit and the highest version of your own self will engage the highest self in another. Yeah, so like I'm telling you, Gemini, you've got something so much better coming. I think that, you know, you're going to go and, you know, finish up this business here, but you're eventually just going to walk away from it entirely in a healed spirit, and you've got this King of Pentacles coming in. So I feel like this is, yeah, I feel like you're going to be doing so much better. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you, Gemini. If you've resonated with this reading, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype the video if you can. Until I see you in your next reading, Gemini, know that you are loved, and namaste.